Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, we never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, pension, Israel and Hamas, whether it's Russia and Ukraine or Guyana and Venezuela. And you have the opportunity to change the subject matter. We stop in the middle of a sentence and we take what you have to say. We just babble. We're not so important. You that is important. The number to call is 442-0175. We're on RealFM, YouTube, Facebook. We always encourage you to share and like our program. Even if you don't like the program, share it. Sometimes your friend will like it too, and it makes you feel good. So always share our program and touch the like button. That is a good thing for us and all those who participate in the program. Today I want to call on the Minister of Education. I want him to go to Deacon Mitchell and find out from Deacon if National College lecturers and teachers are qualified under the 1958 pension law. You see, while we're discussing that in the rum shop, we recognize that National College lecturers, they like to say them as lecturers, that give them some importance. National College teachers and lecturers are qualified under the 1958 pension law. The government set up the board. The government fired the board at their whim and fancy. These lecturers are not under contract. Originally, some of them were seconded and moved from other department without secondment. So in our opinion, they are qualified under the 1958 pension law. Cousin Jude, go and sit down with the members of National College and tell them what is your position on it. Are they qualified under the 1958 pension law? I say yes, they are qualified. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
I want him to rush him out. And it's too shameless. And he's talking about two NMP in the doghouse. He's no doghouse because NMP is not no beggy like him. Young man on the Facebook to eat a food army to attack people and to bully to eat a food. Tell him to hush him out.
You see the danger in that color? Yes. If you tell people hush him out, they go tell me hush him out too.
No, Cameroon.
No, we're in a democracy.
Okay.
So we can censor people.
Okay.
You know, that is important. Right. It's very important for us as a people to be tolerant. We have a democratic process. Since 1983, election has been free and fair. All who win election want it free, fair, and square. Anytime you hear somebody say they lose election, they just lie. They win election free, fair, and square. And we liberalize the telecommunication network under Kit Mitchell. He's a man who believes in freedom of the press. So no, we're free to speak. So some people may speak and you don't like them. For instance, I don't like some of the songs that are played on radio. I like the songs. I like them 12 o'clock in the night. I want to see the tattoo below the navel. But I don't want to play it for school children in the school children activities. When you go to a school function and you hear a DJ singing Ukako, show me the tattoo below the navel, something have to be wrong because we practically singing pornographic songs for our children in the day. But if it's 12 o'clock in the night when I'm whining, I want to hear to show me the tattoo below the navel and where you want it and how to give you. But we must not expose these songs to our children in a legal way. They may hear it, but you, the parents in the house, must not play it. But I don't believe in censorship. I don't believe in censorship. You and a lot of the things you hear on radio, you don't have to believe it on social media. I say to people, test me for the truth. And if you find at any time I'm stretching the truth or I am exciting the truth, take me on. I'll apologize. Like now I call on Deacon Mitchell and the Minister of Education, is national college lecturers and teachers. You hear me saying the both names, because some people like to be called lecturers. They're professors. They're in a university. So national college lecturers and teachers, are they qualified under the 1958 pension law? You see, when Jonah, Stone, Kit Mitchell, Dr. the Right Honorable was saying that the cost for pension could reach over $400 million. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pierre, it's sickening me. It hurting me. It bothering me. It burning me to see Grenadians in Grenada. The way they behave, the things they say about kids, the things they're doing, the things. It's so sad and so shameful when your family call you or you go and visit them and they're asking you a question and you're saying, and the behavior of somebody. This boy, people mustn't call his name on television. People mustn't talk about him. Last election, I live in the Northeast, and I was in the middle. One house behind me, one house in front of me. And before you wake, and the radio station in Karakou, it's sickening. I remember I used to travel early in my stage of life. When you're coming down on Liat, like your transit Barbados or St. Martin or somewhere, Princess Juliana, when you're coming down in the days gone by, you could make a Grenada. And I remember one time in Puerto Rico, the pilot say, I didn't even know Grenada had street lights, heat up in and beyond. And the pilot said, he's going to give us a tour. When we reached down, American Airlines, when we reached in Grenada, he went up all woven and he come back. Because the pilot said, most of the times when they come in and they have to circle around for another flight to go out, the only place they could identify was the breweries because of all the lights on the breweries. But then when I see all the lights and everything, and then you hear Grenadians say, Kit Mitchell never do nothing. Kit Mitchell never do nothing. I remember when we used to live, you had to go for to walk there. No vehicle flying in and out every hour, every second. I try to figure out which part of Grenada some people live in. You must tell some of you callers when you hear coming to this boy, don't even call his name on TV. He's sickening. The things he does say about Dr. Mitchell, when you ask them, why you don't like, I know personally me, I ask people, why you don't like Dr. Mitchell? Oh, well, and you see people say they don't like him, he don't go to him. Why he don't go to him? They cannot give an explanation. And I hate to say, I've been listening programs upon programs, and I'm watching the television time and time again, and I hear the behavior of some people. Mr. Pierre, it's sickening. It's sickening. It's sickening. Keep doing your good work, and thank you so much. Have a blessed one.
Yes, scholar, but one of the things we must never support in our country is censorship. And we must never be like what we don't like. So we have to be respectful. And you have to understand we have two political parties and we kind of tribal. So you're going to have some harsh criticism on others. And it saddens my heart too when a political party is led by the director of hate and the most fractious political motivator in our country. But today I want to appeal to the Minister of Education and Deacon Mitchell. The next time you all have a public gathering or you have a town hall meeting, let the public know if the 1958 pension law also cover national college teachers. You see, if they do, When Kit Mitchell said it was about $400 million, I look at Richard Duncan face. I watch Mr. Tillman face. I watch William Joseph face and Nazim Buck. And I did not see any objection on their face. So then I believe Kit Mitchell. Then you hear it was 60 million. This government already spent over 75 million. And National College lecturers qualify under the 1958 pension law. I notice and listen to the Labor Commissioner, not Labor Commissioner, the Minister of Labor and Attorney General. She said we're going to cause serious trouble. And I guess when she will look at Ron and Tevin and Deacon Face, maybe they didn't believe her. So she said we could cause irreparable damage to the economy. Irreparable damage to the economy. So today, I call on Deacon Mitchell. You jump up and you tell the people it's only 60 million. You already spent over 75 million. And it doesn't seem, it doesn't appear, it doesn't look as if you took National College lecturers and teachers when you was making your calculation. Maybe the Attorney General recognized that. That is why she said that. You see, within the ranks of the NNP, when Dr. Kit Mitchell said $400 million, you had a number of trade unionists there. You had Oliver Joseph, a stalwart. You had Chester Humphrey, one of the best trade union leaders in the Caribbean. You had Clarice Charles. You had Michael Pierre. And if the Prime Minister said 400 million and none of them didn't giggle, I believe him. So the reality is eating Grenadians. Didn't jump up. He said he paid the pension. How much of the pension you paid? Did you take National College teachers into consideration? They're not on a contract. They are paid by the central government. You establish a board for management purposes. You fire the board at your whim and fancies. Now come on. In a small country like ours, confidence is a very important thing. And when a government doesn't seem to know what they're doing, it could cause businessmen to panic. Now, government is the biggest employer in our country. So when the government is indecisive, negative, not certain what they do, reactive, then it could easily spread to the private sector. We don't have a buoyant private sector in Grenada. We have a kind of family private sector that panic easily. And you don't have much generational wealth. You have the St. George's University that contribute over 20% of the GDP. A fragile tourist sector. And a government that is really dependent on selling passports. And while that is going on, the government ministers are selling this, they are the agents selling the passport and the final signatory of the passport. You already see, and I said it over and over, the government natural inclination to be a parasite on the state coffers. We also know that the government is not manning our foreign affairs. we seem to have a third party. The government seems to believe in bribery. Why do I say that? The government paid the teachers, even if the court said that government did not have a legal responsibility for that purpose. It was rumored all over the country. We're not certain if it is true, but the government remained quiet that $160,000 plus was given to number 10 to jump fence with drama. You see how Ron manhandled the government to the extent that government had to have the swearing in quiet. They had to keep the press away because they wasn't certain of Ron's reaction. Eventually, I understand there was a compromise. I don't know if it was 60,000 plus he must not lose pocket, or 100,000 and he did not lose pocket. But Ron described it as a gracious offer. And that language, when used from my brother, I know he was well satisfied. He assured his colleagues that they will have his support. So the government seems to have a natural inclination for bribery. Now the government must tell us. You see, I say these things because I do not want this country's economy to return to free fall. If this country's economy returns to free fall, all and sundry will be affected, including labor. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, we lost you. Caller, punch. Look how we lose that caller. You there, caller? You lost you. So I do not want this country. Remember in 2008, 2013, what was going on? The economy was in free fall. Government was selling assets to meet current expenditure. The government panicked. They sold property that did not belong to them. And they sold property that they did not have the legal authority to sell. We must speak now. And that's why I call on Cousin Jude. You claim that fools could make money, but wise men have to spend it. So I call on you. Have a meeting with the teachers in National College and let them know whether they qualify under the 1958 pension law. Because they believe they do. And I believe they do too. And there are a lot of members of the previous government that believe they were qualified. Yes, caller, welcome.
Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Government pays $75 million to the pensioners who from 1983.
Yes, yes, that was true.
Right?
Yeah.
And they continue paying the pension. So what are you talking about? They continue paying the pension to every one of them getting the pension. Every one of them who get pension for, they getting the pension. So Pierre, Friday, Monday night, I listened to the former Prime Minister, and he was implying that he would not have paid. He would have not paid the pension. That is what he was implying. What said I?
Was he saying that he would not pay it, or he would not pay it in the format that was made? Because I listened to him too. I got the impression that he would not have paid a caller. I got the impression that he would not have paid a lump sum, but maybe stagger. and pay in tranches and give bonds and give cash. That is different from saying that he will not pay. Do you agree with me there?
The NDC, they pay it and they get rid of that.
No color. No. Remember what the Minister of Legal Affairs said. We could cause irreparable damage. And they did not.
That's why they passing a pension law. They're reforming the pension.
Well, you can reform the pension without changing the constitution.
Yes, you could reform it.
You could do it?
Yes.
All right. Well, okay. Well, they can win.
Listen to me.
Yeah, if you could do it, you win.
The constitution can't pay nobody.
So you want to abort the constitution now? Color, you want to ignore the constitution?
When the constitution
you want to say, Color, we can do that. You're not a revolutionary. Color, Maurice Bishop suspend the constitution, but he keep the governor general. When they ask Maurice Bishop why he do that, Maurice Bishop said Grenadian like the Queen.
Yes, they like the Queen.
But so the Prime Minister now, he have to suspend the constitution.
Right now, EMAG is a laughing stock.
EMAG?
Apologize to the Ghanaian people. EMAG boycott the meeting in the house, in the press conference. They boycott it. So what they're saying, Grenadians supposed to get no news. So they don't bring no news to the Grenadians. So what I want the government to do? Boycott them and tell them no press conference for them. Don't come press conference. Because if you boycott it, that means you don't have people at heart. You can't tell them the truth. You can't speak good about it. You can't speak bad. You say you boycott it, so boycott it for good. Suspend them from the thing. Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
I listen. There's people talking about that. Keep me just say, not keep me saying no. Because me just say, you say about beggy on people murder the gun and all that thing. And he's damn well right.
You find you should say that, Scholar?
Yes.
You satisfied with him?
Beggy.
Yeah.
Are you hungry, Mom?
You shouldn't go in politics.
Why do you politics? You go there and thief, and people buy you. So you can't go. No use in politics. Because you not only go.
So nothing is wrong when we say what he say.
Nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Well, all I said is what Deacon say.
Yes, because if you beggy, and you hungry mouth, and you thief, what the hell you do in politics?
Color, what you think?
Money.
Color, what you think?
Buy you.
What you think Deacon? What you think Deacon should do with the gift he get over 30,000 US?
What give you?
They give him a gift over 30,000 US dollars.
You talk about it?
You think he should keep it or he should retire it? What he should do with it? Huh?
Governor General home.
What? He give the Governor General?
They Governor General home.
He give the Governor General the gift?
All the gift what they give them, they put it in the government.
No, they can't give the Governor General. No, they want to. They want us to lock up the Governor General. What Deacon do with this $30,000 US gift?
Where get it?
I don't know. That's what they say. So asking him what he do with it, I don't know if he get it.
You see, all this propaganda.
But then, Caller, if Deacon is not giving us information.
I hear. That's what I see something you can you imagine the former Prime Minister?
So you leave Deacon already about the gift? You don't answer me about Deacon and the gift?
But this man is a wicked man. People say a wicked man to go spread this kind of propaganda. That's how I see resisting you. That wickedness, that bad man, he don't like the country. He's just trying to destroy this country. He's a wicked man.
Okay, brother.
I hear him that.
All right, brother. Thank you. Yes, you see, if the Prime Minister got a gift, and I understand other members of his team are getting expensive gifts, and I know they are, yes, Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Colonel.
Mr. Pierre, I really want the people to see what Dr. Kit Mitchell had done to them.
You want me to
Mr.
tell you what he has done, Colonel?
Let me speak. Mr. Pierre, I don't understand we Grenadians, yeah? There is two main parties, NDC and NNP. Everybody cannot vote NDC, everybody cannot vote NNP. I don't hate Mr. Deacon Mitchell, but if he's doing something what is wrong, we have to call him out. And the supporters of Deacon Mitchell supposed to let him know when he is wrong if they love him. But if something is wrong and you speak about it, what are you going to say? Every time Mr. Pierre comes, he talks about the wrong. You know, we have to get to the Prime Minister where he falls short, where he making mistakes, and then we see how we could fix this thing if we want Grenada to go forward. But if there is so much hatred, how we are going to go forward, Mr. Pierre? This man always calling and running down the past administration. I don't know what you have done to him. It's not nice as Grenadians. We are not going nowhere. We're stuck in a hole like ransom, and we are not going to move because of our attitude amongst people. We don't care if we go to hell because of politics. It's very sad, Mr. Pierre. It's very, very sad. All the tell him about the Prime Minister, he don't accept him. Oh, no, Dr. Kid. What have you done to him? You have to stop it as a Grenadian. It's not nice. Have a good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, you see, Color, you have freedom of speech in Grenada and you have democracy. And even when you in issues with libel, the court even a little bit more tolerant with politicians is concerned. When you go in politics, and Dr. Kit Mitchell and Gregory Bowen and Peter David and Emmeline Pierre and Miss Modeste and Oliver Joseph, I like the level of tolerance to criticism. That is good for democracy. Dr. Kit Mitchell has been the most successful politician in Grenada and the Commonwealth. It is the only politician that won all the seats on 3 occasions. That is significant. So you don't expect hardline NDC members to say good things about him. In addition to that, the NDC know 2 of the directors is the Prince of Hate and the most fractious motivational speaker in the country. He called people classless, nasty. They call people who wearing national colors clowns, Morocco. These are the directors of the National Democratic Congress. So what you expect for the Congress? The Prime Minister called people beggy and greedy. And based from the Prime Minister's views, he do not respect people who are not professionals. Well, all the politicians of yesteryear was not university graduates. Eric Gary didn't even have a secondary school education. So if they could call these people that, the ordinary man must imagine what they think about them. If you call Dr. Modeste, the Shotney woman, public officer, medical doctor, successful person in her constituency, they refer to her as a mad black woman. I always concerned about the utterances that come from the mouth of senior members of the National Democratic Congress. But that basically is them. They believe they're in a different hierarchy than the ordinary man. They believe they have all the answers. They believe they should be the best paid in Grenada. So as soon as they come into power, they take $2,000. We make issue about it. So they want to raise the pay from 6, 7 to 25,000. So they take it. And then they give other people a little blind as a distraction. They remove money from disadvantaged children. That is the kind of group of people you're dealing with. And the quicker we understand that is better. They have a policy of restorative justice. And they set up MIT to paint bridge and plant flowers. But the true purpose of MIT is political mischief. You hear the man crying, he loses his job. Some NDC members on the ground, they say, let them starve. Let them pound stone in the river. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. Good day on target listeners.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I agree with you, and I will always say I agree with you when you say have tolerance. But freedom of speech is not freedom of expression. Mr. Pierre, you also was the target of hate speech by us. I don't call nobody name, from a certain individual. And you, the last time I checked, is a Grenadian, right? What is happening here is different from free speech. This is personal attacks on people's personality, right? This is what I call whistleblowing and dog hearing, because what this guy is basically doing is giving people the impression that people like you, Master Carl, Dr. Mitchell, are bad people, right? You can't go as far as to call somebody that used to work in a bank because they have an expression on a radio station saying about they fraud money and all kind of thing. This is libelous. These are grounds for being sued. And the station that carries these things, letting it happen, right? I have no problem with somebody having freedom of speech. If you're speaking politics and you're speaking about a former prime minister, he is in the public light. But when you start to go on people that is not in the public light, that is where the thing gets dangerous, and that's where people will take it very personal and very serious. And the party that he supports or supports him, either way, they need to get away from this kind of nonsense, because what will happen in Grenada, we don't want to see what happened in 83 and 79 happen again. And to me, that is the kind of anarchy they want to enforce and the laws that they are abiding by. People have the right to speak, but once you are attacking people personally and saying things about who don't pay rent and all kind of nonsense, that is where you're crossing the line. And I find Grenadians should shun this kind of behavior and stop supporting it. Mr. Pierre, secondly, the issue of gun violence in this country here, we are seeing things happening here, and the police officers are being very nonchalant about it. We are hearing now that they went on the carnage yesterday and they do some raid and they get some shells and they arrest some people. That is what I want to see. I want to see more patrolling in areas, because I feel like I'm not seeing police on the streets. Look in Grenville Friday gone. I was in Grenville Friday gone in the market. And there was violence by the fish market. People get chopped right there, and the police station is right there. And would you believe that there were policemen around the area outside the police station, and this violence happening right there, a couple of feet away? What is the police doing to curb the apparent rise in crime in this country here? We are seeing things happening, and it is getting, the crime is getting broader, it's getting bolder, and the people that is perpetrating these crimes are getting younger and younger by the day. We need to curb this thing. And when Dr. Mitchell talked, they want to come on him. This man was Minister of National Security for over 23 years. So when he tells you something, when it comes to national security, even though you don't like the man, give the man a listening ear, because he would have associates that he would have been talking to over the years. Where was Deacon Mitchell? What is Deacon Mitchell's track record in being a person in national security? He was a lawyer, a corporate lawyer. I have never seen this man around NEC no time ever. Where you come from, Mr. Pierre? Any of you fellas, you guys have a good year?
Yes, and we mustn't forget that if we're going to criticize one group for being intolerant, we cannot be intolerant. Yes, we could point it out, but we have to be more tolerant. The National Democratic Congress have always been an intolerant government. Remember what they did in 1990? They didn't even sit down and think twice, They fired the workers in the agriculture station. And I always call Lord Tall name, because he was a figure everybody knew. He was involved in the entertainment industry. Shorty. And many others lost their job. And when people in the private sector realized government was firing people, they too fired some workers in the agriculture sector. What did the NDC did in 2008, 2013? They lied to the Imani. They closed down the program. They fired the Imani. After they said to them, you are like our children. I don't play tapes because I don't interfere in breaking news. But after they tell these people, we are like our children, we would never fire you, they turn back and they fire them. What did they do in Grand Bay Estate? The permanent secretary and the Minister of Agriculture visit the estate. They applauded and complimented the workers for doing a good job. They point out to them that the estate will be identified as growing weed. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I hear you speaking about the $5,000 that the NDC get. Let me tell you something, Mr. Pierre. Kit Mitchell get $5,000 too. Kyle Modest get $5,000 too. All of them in the NMP party.
Caller,
they get $5,000 too. Yes.
Caller, did you hear me speak about $5,000 the government get or 25,000? Don't afraid to call 25,000. Not 5,000 they get, caller. Oh, over 25,000 they get. Well, let me explain to you how, right? Just listen, I'm going to tell you how they get 25,000. So they went to Grand Bay Estate and they practically set up the workers. You see how that worker that meet me in the rum shop? He buy rum, give me everything. And he told me that they go plant, and he said I go make more money. He felt good. And the next time I pass and they call me, they say, your partner looks sad. He said, by the fires, 31 workers from Grand Bay Estate was fired. I have not heard the sanctimonious members of NDC demand that an explanation is given. You see, we're worrying about the Prince I hate. I don't worry about the Prince I hate. The Prince I hate is only existing because the sanctimonious members of the NDC paying him to exist. They're giving him support. They're giving him support. And these are the people that is worse than the messenger. What justification the National Democratic Congress have for firing 31 workers from Grand Bay Estate? Both Persuader and Lennox Andrew, what justification they have? Did the NDC representative from Grenville, from St. Andrews, raise up and ask why? What explanation? Some farmers accuse the government of sabotaging the source of industry. When we make noise, they bring back insect and pests in the source of industry. We can increase source of production just by pruning and pollination. Is the Ministry of Agriculture investing in that area? Look at the high-handed way in which they treated MNIB workers. And the NDC, I always say, the NDC is the worst government where agriculture is concerned. They were the ones who cut down Belvedere nutmeg. And I think they took about 25 million in loan and cut down Belvedere nutmeg to plant banana. Now this is the party you have. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
How are you?
Great, man.
All right. Mr. Pierre, there is a caller named Richard Lallet. I would like him to do a little more research and listen when people speak, because he come and give a lot of false news. False. I would like him to do that.
Yeah.
Do a little more research and listen
Yes.
and have a good day.
Yes, I always encourage people that social media, a lot of rumors are going on in social media. So even when I speak, I don't want you to accept what I say readily. I encourage people to do research. Put logic in it. And it's not hard to do research. Ask people if that is true. And that's why I come here and I ask the Minister of Education and the Prime Minister, next opportunity you get in the public, let the public know if National College teachers and lecturers are qualified under the 1958 pension law. You see, Deacon Mitchell, if you don't do that, your utterances would be easily described as terminological inexactitude. For the longest while you've been going on, you're supposed to be an educated lawyer. And you do corporate law. So words supposed to mean something to you. Those expressions and utterances that you have is tantamount to terminological inexactitudes. And people are going to get fed up with you and just say, you're a bandit. I don't want us to reach there. And that's why I beg some members of the NDC that I have the greatest respect for, the ex-Prime Minister Tillman Thomas, Franca Bonadine, Nazim Burke, and William Joseph, to have some issues. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome, but you have to turn off your radio because we're hearing the feedback before we hear you. So you have to turn off your radio, caller. Yes, go right ahead. All right, so call us again. I know you want to hear yourself, but turn off your radio a bit. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Afternoon. Mr. Pierre, you know, we always say and we continue to say, let us look at the attitude of NDC. Even when in opposition, in government, in governance of the country, it is the same attitude towards the poor people. They care and they don't care about the people who are going to compete in Martinique. Mr. Pierre, you have a situation right now. The COVID-19, hello?
You on, go right ahead.
Yeah, the COVID-19 is on the rising ground. And you hardly hear anything from the Ministry of Health updating people about what to do. Because COVID-19 on the rise. You don't hear nothing. And I remember under the previous government, they ever give an update, a report of the situation, how many cases, if you have anyone die from that. Give information to the people, let them know what's going on. But like everything they need to know, the COVID is something the health to protect the people. Information is given out, and people in the country need information to know what is going on with the health system, with the COVID thing and other situations. But nothing, you hear nothing.
But that is why when the government said need to know, the country hushed them out.
The country hushed them out. I'm saying, again, look at the situation there again with a man, a guy who get a contract to take care of a pasture in St. David. The man has people working with him. The man has some sickness and things. The man in hospital, but the man has the workers and working, taking care of the pasture. The man lied up on a hospital bed.
You think NDC care about that, caller?
Jesus Christ, up here.
Caller,
Yeah.
the
No,
NDC don't care about that.
They don't care about that.
They introduce restorative justice and they set up a whole ministry for political mischief.
Mischief to people. How could you feel happy about that?
Well, what's about Sherry and Robinson, Shirley Ann? There are a number of others. The NDC don't care about that.
And then you have we say we are a Christian country. I have people going to
yes, we are a Christian country.
They condone it, they accept
just
that.
as some bad Christian.
Right?
You
They
see
accept that. Mr. Pierre, look, we celebrate 50 years anniversary of independence. Instead of our country go forward, we're going backward with the attitude of this government. You know, you have independent thing, like the NDC independent. You have the opposition there. You have people who are willing to, the patriot people that are interested to take part of the independent. Thing going on in a different constituency. The parliamentary represent that constituency. They don't know about it. Right? What that is, that is NDC independent, how they celebrate it?
Color the independence celebration is about the period of the revolution.
Exactly. That
the NDC, Caribbean roundabout, and the 16th constituency. That is what the celebration is all about.
So they forget the other 15 and we're focusing on.
But they say they're nasty people, they're classless people.
Classless people. And
they're not good
people. Election again, the same classless people are not important and say they're nothing. You go in front of the accident.
They beggy people, greedy people.
Right? So you don't want them no, but come in next election, you go back to the same people. Well, I call upon the people who can compete matic. Take here. Listen to how the people calling, how they grading you. And then you want to still go back and vote for them. To them for degrade you and say all can say about you. But I call upon the people who can compete matic. There comes a time they will come back in front of you. You don't say nothing to them, but you know how to deal with them. At the ballot box, vote and vote them out.
Yeah.
Because when you elect a government to help you to develop your life living standard, and they only focusing on some of the big friends, right? They don't care about you. Yes, I do. Sorry, but then don't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
Don't make that mistake. All right, thanks.
You see, we spend a lot of time providing information for the public, educating the public, expressing our opinion on any issues, and challenging the government. I hear people say nobody ain't saying nothing. We're challenging the government to come and answer. But the government cannot answer because they know what we're saying is the truth. So if you want the truth, listen to us. I said the callers talking about 5,000. The parliamentarians have $10,000. They pocket change. They for them if they have to buy a rum or buy a beer to help somebody buy gas or sugar. That is what politicians used to do from their personal earnings. The government give them 10,000. And you know you have some people that they don't spend more than $5 in that amount of money on people. There is no measurement for accountability there. In addition to the pay, in addition to the $2,000 for transport, the previous government used to get $800. They gave them $2,000. So they're going on with about $24,000, $25,000 a month. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. How are you today?
Great, man.
Yeah, well, it's so nice to hear you for today because for the past few months, I was kind of I'm still down because it's 1 foot I have. But good Lord keeping me alive and I thank him for that. I just don't plant a planting tree and do go Michelle. But you know what happening here? I suffering a lot because I have a few acres of land and pretty alasini killing me for the longest while. Now, people paid me, said that I was being paid to speak out and whatnot, and I know nothing about that. But my thing about it is, the Keith Mitchell-led administration was in office for so many years, and I, as a detainee, and I had put in a claim. Now, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was set up by this very said Keith Mitchell and whatnot, etc. And I wonder today, why when I put in a claim for $100 and almost $30,000, only $4,000 was given to me? I have all the facts here, you know. I have a lot of documents I could put to you. I cannot support this kind of a thing. To me, most of the people who call in your station on a daily basis, they have both legs. And it is time that they stop this disunity that's going on. I mean, let us see if we could build a country from where we were. You know, the first election after the revolution, I was on the street campaigning and saying, let us put back Eric Matthew Gary there. But most people seem to feel that this man had no knowledge, didn't go to university, didn't go anywhere. I myself know nothing about university except the University of Hopeville and the University of Richmond Hill. But let me just say this. I want to shout out Winston White. I want to shout out Tillman Thomas. I want to shout out Sporty Eye. I want to shout out Kennedy Budlal. I want to shout out Ras Sporty Eye. All Gravel and all of these other guys who suffered in prison. And today, I still believe they are under pressure and they're not getting any great help. But anyhow, let us look for unity and stop criticizing. Almost 2 years going now, a new government in power. The Almighty God that changed that. I mean, come on, man. Let's think carefully, man. Have a good day, people.
Yes, thank you, caller. And after 50 years celebration, the government will have an independent celebration 50 years. And it was a good opportunity for the government to evoke a spirit of unity. But it seems, it appears. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
How come your boss is a sore loser? Why he's a sore loser? Why? What? I mean, he wants power that bad again?
Who is my boss?
You know who I'm talking about. Why are you trying to stop
Caller. You know how to tell people punch. When you speak in your punch, why don't you say my boss? I'm my own boss. If you have, that's why I ask you who is my boss. Yes, let's don't play around games. Too much of us playing games in the country. That is why I'm telling the Prime Minister, don't play games. Go and speak to the Minister of Education and tell us if National College teachers are qualified under the 1958 pension law. You are paying them. They're not on a contract. Some of them came from different divisions and they're in National College. So are they qualified under the 1958 pension law? You see, when the previous government said this thing could cost us $400 million, you gave the impression that it was not true. You said 60. It already exceeds 75 million. And the Minister of Legal Affairs and Labor said we could cause irreparable damage to the economy. So, Dick Mitchell, let us know if National College teachers are qualified under the 1958 pension law. You see, On-Target believes that they do. Cousin Jude, go and have a meeting with your clientele. You represent this group of people. And let them know if they qualify or not. Or bring some lawyer that knows to have a discussion with them. That's important. We don't want to drag this thing down the road. It is like an albatross around our neck. A milestone around our neck. Remember the voice of the Minister of Legal Affairs. We could cause irreparable damage to the economy. All of us must be concerned. If it caused irreparable damage to the economy, we could drop the tax threshold from 3,000 to 1,000. We could cut social program. The conditions in health is going to deteriorate and the roads will deteriorate. That's the reality. More people would be retrenched. Pretty larceny will be on the rise. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
We are very hypocrite as people. Mr. Pierre, to see all what going on, all who trying to call and to defend the NDC, they are very hypocrite. If they love him, they're going to talk to him. They want to know what they're receiving. They are very hypocrite. Have a good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Sometimes people are not receiving anything, Some people strong support the political party And they want to do everything to try to buffer the effects of criticism on a political party. So we must not believe that if somebody is championing the cause of the political party, they're getting something. Some of these people giving the political party. They're taking out money from their pocket and give the political party. We have to believe that not everybody you hear objecting to NDC is paid by NNP. And not everybody you hear supporting NDC is paid by NDC. And we have to come to the conclusion. Some people like their political party and they will defend them. And sometimes that is why when you ask them a question, they move away from answering and they go back to Kit. Because they cannot answer the question. They realize what you're saying is true. So they try to give you a reference. You know? And I constantly believe that we could change this country. We could do better. We could improve this country for the better. And that is why somebody is not only criticizing, but making suggestions. So I call on some of the sanctimonious members of the National Democratic Congress to go and counsel Deacon. He's a political neophyte, and the partner get trapped. He has said so much things that he realized most of his utterances are just terminological inexactitude. He's lonely. He needs help. You hear me call on Dennis Cornwall and Lennox Andrew, two of the most experienced public officers, to do a better job. They could help Deacon better. They have to put him sit down. He's flying too much. Let him rest his blessed assurance in the offices in St. George's and counsel him that he have to do better. You have to have more compassion. You have to show more empathy. You have to understand if you cut social programs, you're going to cause social decadence. You will have increase in pre-larceny. If you harass the police too much, the police go get lackadaisical, the criminals go no. You go have gun crimes. Too much of our people go start to obey the Calypsonian scholar. He tell them open their business. Mr. Excel licks it. So it is good to have stability, peace, harmony, and confidence. It's a small country. You have to avoid fracture in the country. So you have to tell the Prince of Hate and the fractious motivational speaker to tone down because they're calling people classless. Members of your party calling people commoners. That is showing contempt and disrespect for our people. And I want you to improve because I don't want the economy running a free fall. We're back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1 for another opportunity to punch.